Hey gang, how are you? Kevin Goatee, Gutting the Sacred Cow. How are you? What's new and exciting? Hot new episode right now for you. Amanda Scherker taking on Inglorious Basterds. That's right, the third Tarantino film I believe we've done. Before we get into it, do not forget, please subscribe and give a 5-star rating. 2-sentence review would be a big help. The live show tickets, man, we are almost halfway sold out already. So, guttingthesacredcow.com has your link for the live show tickets, has the link to go and buy a nice cool shirt, long sleeve shirt. It's getting a little nippy up here. Hoodie, hat, bag, mug, I don't know. Everything is there. It's better than Amazon. And of course, your articles that we have every day of the week for you. So guttingthesacredcow.com for tickets for the live show and everything else. And again, thank you so much for being a friend of the show. Thank you for telling your friends and family. We really appreciate it. Honest to God, Kevin Israel and I really, really appreciate it. And without further ado, here's Amanda Scherker doing Inglorious Basterds.
Gather round, here's what I know. It's just that this cow has got to go. I know some people kinda like it, yeah, it's trending right now. Yeah, that doesn't matter, cause we're gutting the sacred cow.
Sorry, folks. Park's closed. Moose out front should have told you so. Kevin Israel, name that film.
Vacation.
You wanted a softball? You got a softball.
That was as soft as it gets. That was,
I know. I might as well been throwing to my 5-year-old daughter, hey, everybody, Gutting the Sacred Cow. Here we are. Another episode, a brand new week. Guess what? Our live show is happening. Folks, if you
Boom.
Right? If you live in the tri-state New York City area, come out on January 23rd to the AMC in Clifton, New Jersey, a scant 20-25 minutes outside of New York, where we are going to show the 1984 classic Karate Kid, and veteran gutters from the morning show on Compound Media, Bill Schultz and Joanne Nosachinski, are going to try and take down Karate Kid in person. That's right. We're going to watch the film and have an episode right after that. Tickets on sale now. Go to our Twitter page at GTSC Podcast. The link is in the bio. Guttingthesacredcow.com should have it up. If it doesn't, we're working on that right now. Go to Kevin Israel and Kevin Goatee's pages, Twitter and Facebook. You'll find them there. Or on Eventbrite. Just search for guttingthesacredcow.com. Now we got that business out of the way. Let's welcome our guest, Amanda Scherker, hailing from all the way on the left coast. Amanda, how are you?
It's happening, Amanda.
Oh my gosh, I'm great.
You
I'm
are. Tell the folks where we can find you. Tell the folks about your podcast, everything else you've got going on.
So I work at Wisecrack. We make YouTube videos about like pop culture. I'm also on Hinge. No success lately. Yeah, that's basically me. Yeah.
Wisecrack. All right. So check her out at Wisecrack Video. What's the Twitter handle for that?
I think it's just Wisecrack. I should know this. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I feel like it's just Wisecrack.
Cool. Just look at her Twitter. God damn it, you'll find it.
If you
have
some brain,
have some gumption. Some initiative. You'll get there if you really want to. That looks like a 40 you're drinking right there. That's a tall ass thermos.
The gin lasts longer that way.
Excellent. I'm a gin guy too. Amanda has come on and she has taken umbrage with, it's our second Kevin Israel. It is our third Quentin Tarantino film we've done on this podcast. Amanda decided that she just...
Wait. I can't miss this opportunity.
Yes.
Kevin,
yeah.
It's our third.
Excellent. Excellent callback. Our third Quentin Tarantino film, Inglorious Basterds, coming out in the year 2009, a $70 million budget, a $120 million haul in the United States, a $321 million haul worldwide, which puts that in 2020 numbers, $85 million budget, a $146.6 million haul in the U.S., $392.3 worldwide. Not too shabby. Our next step, Amanda, in our little game of fun is we like to guess. Actually, you and Kevin are going to guess a couple of film scores. IMDb, as we know, is a scale 1 through 10 with decimal points. Amanda, the lady in the room, what did Inglorious Basterds score on IMDb? 1 through 10 with decimal points.
Okay, it's cheating because I know.
Oh, then don't answer the question. Kevin Israel, what did Inglorious Basterds score on IMDb?
8-9.
8-3.
Ah, damn it.
A little high.
You know what?
Hopefully, Amanda, you did not look at the Rotten Tomatoes scores. That's our next. You did not. So I'll go to you first. What did the critics score Inglorious Basterds on the old 1 through 100 percentage scale? Please.
75?
Kevin Israel.
Ooh, I was going to go in the mid-70s. I'll go 81.
89.
I should have stuck the other way.
Fucking idiots.
Kevin Israel, audience score Inglorious Basterds.
87.
Amanda.
Oh, shit, I was gonna go late 80s. I'll go crazy and say 92.
Kevin Israel wins both showcases. 88.
Finally.
Yeah, right. It's been a
My
little bit
power's
of a
still
drought
there.
Quotes. You each owe me 100 Nazi scalps.
Such a
And of course, the obvious one, we have a bingo. Kevin Israel, quotes from this film. What stuck out to you?
Oh man, I had oh, that's a bingo. I had that one. And we're in the Nazi killing business. And brother, business is a booming.
Amanda, any quotes to jump out to you?
The quote where I spent 20 fucking minutes watching Nazis play that stupid game RA advisors in freshman year of college make you play.
Ah, the get to know you bullshit. Yes, don't we all remember those?
Yeah. That's really I thought I mean, I hate the movie, so
We'll get into it.
Yeah.
So no quotes from her. Okay. Now it's time for 5 fun facts. Number 1, Quentin Tarantino started writing this film in 1998, but what did he choose? What 2 films did he choose to do first? Kevin Israel, I'll let you take a guess.
And he started writing in 85?
98, I'm sorry, I didn't say that. 98.
98? Did this come out before? After?
Doesn't matter when it came out. Don't let that triple you up.
Django Unchained?
Nope. And another one.
Kill Bill.
Was one of them. The other one, Death Proof.
Oh, yeah.
that's what it was.
Tarantino wanted who to play Hans Landa, but he reconsidered. I'll give you a hint. This character, this actor, plays a role in his later films. Yes, later films.
Rio.
Oh, you son of a bitch. You looked it up.
Yep.
Good job, Amanda. Well played.
That would have made the movie even worse, which I didn't think was possible.
Christoph Waltz speaks how many languages? Eins, zwei, drei, vier, fünf. 5. German, French, Hebrew, English, and Italian.
You got to know what you're hunting for.
The Bear Jew was originally supposed to be played by whom? Any guesses? I'll give you a hint. He's Jewish.
I remember hearing this, but I don't know if it's true.
Adam Driver. Just kidding.
I actually, it's funny. I thought you were going to say what I was thinking. I remember hearing Adam Sandler was up for this.
Adam Sandler is correctamundo.
Is it really?
Yes,
I thought that was just a rumor.
Yeah.
No.
Simon Pegg, but then they saw Adam Sandler swing a bat. They go, nah, we can't do this. Simon Pegg was originally supposed to play Archie Hickox, but dropped to do Spielberg's Adventures of Tintin. Archie Hickox, yeah, I didn't either. Archie Hickox is Fassbender in this film, by the way.
Oh, he's so much better.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What?
Jesus.
I mean, give me a film that Fassbender doesn't make it. It's like Hanks almost, but a lot lower scaled. You put Fassbender in anything, it's amazing.
His accent in this was spot on.
Wasn't it? For an Irish guy, great job. But enough about 5 fun facts and Leo playing Hans Landa and Adam Sandler swinging a bat. Who cares? We're here to see Amanda Scherker do what she is going to do pretty damn well, I think. And that is Guts. The Sacred Cow.
I was telling my mom I was going on this podcast and I called it Slaughtering the Sacred Cow.
Ooh, off-brand.
Potential punch up. Just kidding. Okay, so fuck this movie. I hated it the first time I saw it. I saw it with like this, like in high school with like the film geek, and afterwards he was like, it was a spiritual moment for me, and I was like, you're so fucking dumb. $70 million was the budget, I think.
Yes, you were
and
correct.
And he couldn't afford a fucking script doctor. Wait, can I take that again?
Take two. $70
million, and he couldn't afford a fucking screen doctor. Did I say that right? Yeah.
Script doctor, I bet you meant to say.
Script doctor. Why did I write screen doctor? Script. Oh
I mean, he writes his own scripts. He writes his own scripts, so it's kind of, he'd be hiring himself.
No, I know he writes his own scripts, but it's terrible.
I see.
And it feels, okay, so it feels kind of weird to be critiquing this. Wait, should I do a take 3? Because I feel like I fucked that up, and I know that's annoying. $70 million, and he couldn't afford a script doctor. There we go. Okay, so it feels weird to be critiquing this movie because it's obviously trying to be dumb, and it's based on a dumb movie. But I feel like it both fails at being dumb and fails at being smart because he fucking disappeared up his own asshole. It's so indulgent. There's all the voiceover. Like, what is going on? All of a sudden, voiceover kicks in, like at 30 minutes in, lasts for like 5 minutes, is never explained. That's not smart.
Which voiceover are we talking? Because there are 2 that stood out to me because they're both but they're both actors utilized in many of his films. Which one you talking about?
Was it Morgan Freeman or am I
No,
crazy?
it was Samuel L. Jackson and Harvey Keitel.
Okay. Well, but like, okay, and this is kind of my problem with like Quentin Tarantino. I feel like, okay, if like art is an expression of your soul, Quentin Tarantino's soul is something I just hate. Like, I feel like he just is, it's just gimmicks, and it's like you have to be in on the joke to like it, but there isn't a joke.
I have a question. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I have one question I just need answered. Are you a fan of his other films as well or not?
I mean, I fuck with like Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown, but the one where they cut off the ear.
Reservoir Dogs.
Thank you. Yeah. No, I like his good stuff. I just don't like his like historical revisionism stuff. I feel like it was a terrible direction. I have not liked a single one of them. I mean, I think maybe historical revisionism just like might be dumb. That's a potential argument. Like the Plot Against America, like as a book, is smart. I haven't seen the show. Like it's smart to, if you can like recreate the past to like tell us something about ourselves. But this, like, none of his movies do that. His movies are just about like fucking up the assholes of the past, and that's not like I feel like the more, not that I think every movie has to like have a fucking moral to be good, but A, this movie is fucking boring, and B, the moral is that killing Nazis is fun, which is like the most obvious, like it feels like a few stoners came up with like, oh, we should like make a movie and kill a bunch of Nazis in it, you know?
Okay.
They scalp their heads too. I just want to.
Yeah, I mean,
You saw it a lot.
I could go off about like how
Do
dumb.
it.
Like,
Go off.
okay, what is the point? And also, I'm squeamish, like medically, but like, what is the point of the intense violence of seeing someone's brain? Like, what's the point? Like, can someone tell me the point? Is it fun?
I think the scalping thing came from the fact that he was supposed to be a descendant of an Apache. He was Aldo the Apache, and you know the
But
Native
also, he's
American
Brad
trope
Pitt
of scalping.
and white, and that's dumb, right?
I mean, people can have American Indian blood and be white. That's
That's
just
totally true. No, that's totally true. I'm not invalidating that experience. I just feel like it's like, oh, classic Hollywood. He's half Native American and totally 100% Brad Pitt.
isn't that the world that we want to live in? 100% Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt can be whatever he wants to be.
He has.
No, he's terrible in this.
Wow, that is a
Wow.
bold statement. I just saw Kevin's
nothing-
beard
there's-
wrinkle.
There's nothing funny. There's nothing funny about it. It's just not funny. It's like, I get that he's doing a joke, but like, I'm the worst at accents in the entire fucking world, and he couldn't, like, his Italian accent was so patently bad that I'm like, okay, and I'm still not clear on this. Was he ordered by the OSS to do this bombing?
Yeah, that was. I mean, that was
yeah.
that was their plan. That was their plot.
Yeah, and that's their plan? To have this fucking, like, that's ridiculous.
Well, he wasn't supposed to go in originally. Originally, it was supposed to be Fassbender and the other guy who were all killed in the bar.
Mhm.
Right.
They weren't supposed to go.
But it was
That's
just
why he was like, "Well, we're gonna have to pretend to be Italians."
right. But it's just like, even I could do a better Italian accent. And I'm not going to grace you with that because it won't be good, like, comedy. But it was too stupid. It was too stupid to function. Do you
All right.
guys both love this movie and are so mad at me?
You will hear. You're the first one to actually ask and care about our feelings in the middle of your own gutting segment. I appreciate that. I do. I'm glad that's a nice check-in. But
I'm an empath.
I see.
Okay, so I'll keep going. So first off, obviously Christopher Waltz is fucking amazing. That's not disputable, but even he couldn't sell this fucking Nazi general's stupid ass agreement that he like randomly decides to make without any character buildup after just seeming like a Jew hunter. And there's not even like a mention on in the movie that the Germans are losing and they're gonna get fucked anyway. There's literally no reason for him to hand his gun to Brad Pitt. And I get that that's like the point of the movie, is that nobody has any reason for anything that they're doing, but it's just not smart.
Well, that's what you do in the military. You surrender your sword. I mean, that's what you guys. He surrendered his gun. That's what you do.
No,
when you
his
officially surrender.
gun, his knife, and the other guy's knife.
Right.
Which is really smart because then he has 3 ways to kill you. No, total genius at work. Also, they talk, okay, the thing that really, really bugged me the second time watching this movie is just how much they reiterate the same points over and over and over again. Like, I heard that Shoshana inherited the cinema from her aunt after living as a fucking dairy farmer in the country, which, okay. But, I mean, are already kind of sus, if you ask me. But, like, okay, so she did that, but did I have to hear it 3 fucking times for it to like get in my head? And then there's no payoff. There's no point to that.
Rule of
Like,
3. First rule of comedy.
No, but there's no punchline.
I know. I'm teasing.
I know. That's this whole movie is like, there's so much setup that I feel like, I mean, also, okay, I have to admit, I hate this movie from the conceit because, and I swear I read this, I can't find it, but Quentin Tarantino for sure said that if his characters as depicted had existed in the moment he depicted, the events of this film would have transpired that way. And I know he was just fucking around, but as like a Jewish girl, I got really mad because I'm like, oh, so there wasn't like a Jewish girl with enough like moxie to kill Hitler? Like, fuck you, right? Like, you can't do historical revisionism and then be like, oh yeah, no, there just wasn't anybody there to like make it happen. Like literally fuck you. Also, this is the thing I'm only allowed to say because I'm Jewish. Doesn't it kill the tension to cast somebody who, and I had to look it up. I Googled it, and Jewish or not came up, which reads like jewishhornet.com. And she is Jewish. She's Ashkenazi and Sephardic. And she's fucking beautiful. Yeah, don't get me wrong. But it's like, wouldn't you cast somebody in a movie where the whole tension rests on the suspicion that she might be Jewish? Wouldn't you cast somebody who looks like a little bit more Jewish? Like, right?
Like who?
Junos for
Like
you?
like a female Woody Allen? Is that what you want?
I mean, I'm not saying that I should have been cast.
I've been working in this movie theater for years. I see nothing from it. I think she's Jew.
No, she is Jewish, and Jews can look like anything. I know that. I'm Jewish. I get it. It's just like there's no tension when she's sitting across the table from Christopher Waltz because
Disagree. She melts down. She melts down when he walks out. She melts down and starts crying. I cannot disagree more.
oh my God, I felt like I was just like, nobody would think this bitch is Jewish. Like, she's fucking shiksa hot. Like, why would you pick that? It's just so random.
Wolf.
Did you say shiksa hot?
Yeah.
What?
I didn't even know that was a term.
Oh no, I made it up.
Shiksa hot.
Yeah. Like hot. Okay, so fuck the fact that she's like blonde and like way too non-Jewish looking because it's stupid. Because she's like, this is the face of Jewish vengeance at the end. And like, I'm not saying I want to see my own face. I'm saying like it should be more Jewish. Anyway,
then listen,
You should look more like the Nazi propaganda.
Yeah.
What?
Who would you cast it then? Gail Gadot?
oh, she could fuck with that role for sure, for
Let's
sure.
see. But she's
Okay,
shiksa
wait.
hot.
Wait. She. Now I'm like shiksa hot or shiksa not.
Waka
Anyway.
waka waka.
Kill me. Anyway, okay. So wait, I'm only on point 2, and I have
All right. Well, yeah. Continue, please. Continue.
so much. Okay, this movie is so boring that because 1, 2, 3 movies doesn't work anymore, I had to fucking pay to rent it on Amazon Prime to watch it for this podcast. And I got so bored that it took me more than the 48 hours required to watch it. And I had to rent it again. So if a listener wants to Venmo me, I'm not opposed to the idea. But
It's a tax write-off.
it's so fucking slow.
Kevin, we met our first live Amazon 1-star reviewer who said it takes him 48 hours to watch the movie. We met one. There are a lot of people in the 1-star reviews that go, I hate this movie so much. I had to pay to rent it again, just like you. So you're really further. I didn't think these people,
Such a horrible plug.
And I never thought they were real people.
I
but
totally
now I know
thought,
they
yeah,
are.
I'm like, this is a bot. This is a Russian bot. This is bullshit.
That's literally the most humiliating moment of my life. But it happened. I was really hungover, but also I hate this fucking movie. And they spend fucking 20 minutes watching him drink milk. Like, we get it. The Jews are going to die. That's what this movie is. That's what's happening. And we watch it for 20 minutes. I will say that the first time I saw it, I did like the opening scene. The second time, it was like, it was like, oh my God, are we ever going to get anywhere? They're just going to die. Like, come on. Like, it was just so slow. But then it's not just that. It's not just the opening scene, which I would argue is the best scene of the movie in its favor. But like, every scene is so slow. It takes like 20 minutes to establish that Shoshana runs the cinema. It takes like 20 minutes to establish that this guy is the hots for her. It takes like 20 minutes to establish that she's going to burn down the cinema. And then the weird thing is it takes 5 seconds to establish that the Inglorious Bastards, or whatever the fuck they're called, are trying to do the same thing. Also, like, my next note was literally, I'm 100% positive this movie would never have been made if it wasn't Quentin Tarantino, and that's, like, not a compliment. That's, like, he didn't have a fucking script doctor to be like, let's cut out the exposition. There's so much of people telling other people what they're planning to do instead of doing it, and it's so fucking boring to watch. Literally, I feel like also the film relies entirely on the tension of being like, somebody is sitting at a table with a Nazi, and what is the Nazi going to do? And that's like such an easy tension to, like, literally throw me a script in Hollywood and there's like a Nazi sitting. It's not interesting. It's never like that scene in the bar, just like, why so many shots of everybody pretending to be Marco Polo or King Kong? It's just fucking dumb. And it does, the thing that actually really bothers me about it is that it doesn't humanize Nazis at all, which I actually think like could be useful, could be like valid. I feel like the Nazis are kind of caricatures. Like Hitler's laughing at the fact that all the Germans were laughing at the movie where the Americans were being killed. It's just so dumb. Nobody laughs at war movies. Nobody like enjoys watching people be killed. That's such a character. They wouldn't have laughed at that. I don't think they would have. I think they would have felt proud for a very bad reason that I very much disagree with as a literal Jewish woman. But I don't think they would have laughed at that movie, and it just felt stupid. And I know that's part of the game, is that the movie is purposely being stupid. I just don't think it's being stupid for a smart reason. Also, just like, okay, 10 minutes about where to hold the cinema premiere, cool, then 10 more minutes about the background of the cinema, 10 seconds of whipped cream, and then the cigarette goes in the whipped cream, and it's not some kind of sexual thing. Like, that's not even funny. That's fucking film school shit.
I think the symbolism of that was because he kept saying how the strudel was not bad, and then he has a little of it and he takes a cigarette and he puts it, because it was a French restaurant, I think. Yeah. I think the point was, it was a German cigarette. And it was the French pastry, so I think it was like him being like, it doesn't matter. Like he had a little of it and was like, it doesn't matter. What's that?
You're so mad at me.
No. I mean, this wasn't like that wasn't an observation I've like had in my. But watching that on rewatch when I watched it yesterday, that scene stuck out to me. Like, why is this such? Why are they really dragging this whole thing about the dessert?
I was like, wow, Quentin Tarantino hasn't shown a single female foot in this movie so far.
Damn you. That was one of my points.
My point too.
Damn it.
Settle down.
I know.
Also, I feel like my biggest takeaway from this movie is something that like I'm an aspiring screenwriter. To all open managers. But like you get one coincidence per movie, and this movie was fucking loaded with coincidence, and it's fucking stupid. Should I stop now?
Kevin Israel, would you like to go first, or shall I? I'll defer to you on this one.
I'll take a stab if you don't mind.
I don't mind. Please do.
Okay. I saw this movie in the theater, and I came out and I absolutely loved it. I thought Brad Pitt was amazing in it. That monologue of his in the beginning explaining the point of the Bastards, I probably watch once a month just to get myself going about something. And I definitely say, and I at least a few times a year I say to somebody, and I want my scalps, and I'll get my scalps.
Like, why?
Because I think honestly, first of all, this whole movie played like a big propaganda piece. Whether it was it was like a propaganda piece for Americans to buy into the war. To the what's that?
Against Nazis?
Yeah, it felt like a propaganda movie that would have run during World War II to get Americans to join the army, to like get them behind the movement.
It's so modern.
Yeah, but I think that, and Quentin Tarantino loves those anachronisms where if like, because even in some of the movies, some of the songs that play, there was one song and I didn't take a note of it. I think when they were putting together the movie, when Shoshana was making her movie, the song that was playing was a very modern song. I can't remember what it was, but it was not
I know what it was. I just can't think of it.
It was not a 1940s song. I love Brad Pitt in this. I loved fucking Christoph Waltz. Any scene that Brad Pitt and or Christoph Waltz was in, I loved. Christoph Waltz made drinking milk so uncomfortable, and it made me feel gross watching somebody drink milk. Like it made me like the kind of the symbolism of it, of this Nazi enjoying the fruit of the Jewish labor or the labor of this neighborhood, and then knowing that he was going to kill it. I mean, that was a great scene. That said, I agree with you. On rewatch, you lose the tension because you know what's going to happen. The first time I watched it, I remember there was like a pit in my stomach just waiting for that moment where he was going to kill. And then the tension breaks at one point, and you're like, oh, they're going to get away with this. He's going to leave.
Sorry. I think it was David Bowie. Yes,
you're right. You're absolutely right. Because I had the subtitles on and it said David Bowie.
Yeah.
So every scene with Brad Pitt and Christoph Waltz I thought was great. This movie was 2.5 hours long. It should have been 90 minutes. There was a ton of story in this that I didn't care about. And this plays to what Goatee and I have said for months about this podcast. This podcast ruins movies that I loved. And I really did. I went into this saying that this movie was a 10 for me. I loved this movie. I've watched it.
Hold on. I hate to interrupt you. You mean to tell me that this film is better than Pulp Fiction in your
No, not on rewatch.
No. Back up. I said on your initial watch, you said you thought this is a 10, which makes it at the very worst on par, even equal with Pulp Fiction. This is the same par as Pulp Fiction, this film.
Know what? I think I'm trying to remember how I felt when I left the theater of Pulp Fiction and when I left the theater.
You felt exactly like my film school friend who said it was a magical experience.
Seeing this. And I think when I left the theater seeing this, I did like it a little more.
I'm floored.
But
liked it better than Pulp Fiction?
But not now. Let's talk about Kevin now, where Kevin Israel is right now.
Oh, he snuck that in there, you son of a bitch.
I've grown.
Okay.
I did not give two shits about Shoshana's movie theater. I don't know why we had to spend so much time on that. I get that they wanted to get to the irony of the girl that got away, ends up I get it, but they could have done something. He could have done something else with that story. That whole storyline was boring and it dragged. The whole thing with the Nazi who liked Shoshana, nothing ever like that. It never really went anywhere. Like it was just kind of like, oh, he's into her, and then he kept just sort of showing up, and then it was all just to build up to the end when she kills him, when they actually kill each other.
Honestly, kind of hot.
What's that? Oh, them killing that scene. The mutual killing was kind of cool. But there was so much extraneous. You're absolutely right. The scene in the bar with them playing whatever that game is called and the cards on their head was and it made me never want to play that game. Like if I'm ever at a party and somebody's like, "Hey, let's play whatever this is. Guess who I am," or whatever it is.
I'll literally like scalp them.
Yeah, exactly.
Boring.
That was invented, as the David Tell joke goes, that was invented before fun, because it's not.
It was terrible. And again, he was trying to, and you're right, you do make a great point, Amanda, that so much of this movie is about tension between people sitting at tables with Nazis. Like the movie, you're right, the movie could have been called Sitting Down with Nazis, because there was so much of just sitting at a table with Nazi,
I would probably
waiting for something bad to happen. Sometimes it happened, sometimes it didn't happen. Spot on the foot scene. I was waiting for it, and I didn't think it was going to come. I forgot about it, and then as soon as she pulls out the shoe, I was like, "Here come the feet." As much as I love Quentin Tarantino, he should be on a list somewhere. He's definitely doing something with people's feet that is against the law. He definitely watches foot porn, and I don't care what anybody says. I thought it was.
Do you know that he strangled her personally? He personally strangled her on screen.
Yes, I did read that.
He had the actor step out so that he could strangle her. And you're like, Quentin, like, you're paying so much money just to, like, get your rocks off. Like, you could totally do this for free with the right woman.
He had a boner the whole time.
I was just going to say, the reason why the crew was out was because, oh, no, sorry about that. He had the crew out of the room because that way he couldn't see his massive erection trying to blow out of his pants.
Like
Mr. Tarantino, you have a massive erection.
Yes. Rewatched that just the other night.
Yeah,
What?
We had to.
Yeah.
In Brad Pitt's monologue, Mountain Man Jim Bridget is a real person.
Right.
He said, "I am a direct descendant of the Mountain Man, Jim Bridget." And I was like, that's not a real person. And I looked it up, and fuck me, he's a real person.
No,
And he was a mountain man. So good for Quentin Tarantino looking somebody up. And I was also shocked to find out that there was a movie called Inglorious Basterds, spelt the right way, that was about a team of people. Like, I had no idea. I kind of want to watch that movie now, although apparently it was terrible.
What's really fucking dumb, it was literally a B movie, and what's really fucking dumb is he changed the spelling from Inglorious Basterds. I said it like extra A to like accentuate the A.
Yes.
And he changed it to Inglorious Basterds, I think just to fit Brad Pitt's accent.
Well, I hate to argue with you too hard, but first of all, Brad Pitt doing a bad accent was kind of the joke. Like he was supposed to be this guy from
what's so funny?
Tennessee or Arkansas, and he was like, I speak a little bit of Italian, and then he's like, buongiorno. And it was like, you don't speak any Italian. And then watching each of them as they're talking, being like, I was like, that's fucking, like, none of them are even kind of Italian. As Christoph Waltz is speaking perfect dialect Italian. Like, it was, I loved that scene, and I loved the goof. And yeah, it was, it's supposed to be a little bit stupid. It's supposed to be a little bit spoofy, campy, if you will. But
for sure.
How Brad Pitt sounded speaking Italian is exactly how I sound speaking Italian. I even get a southern accent while I do it. But and I love the end of this movie. I adore the end of this movie.
Of course you do. You are a Jew. The Jews were all jerking off at the end of this film.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I would love to go around the world and carve a swastika into every Nazi's head.
Right.
Don't worry, Kev. I would leave you alone.
Stupid.
Yeah, this movie. So this movie is so many great scenes tied together with some terrible scenes and kind of a loose plot. But the great scenes and Pitt and Christoph Waltz's performance, even Roth's performance as Bear Jew, when he hits it out the fucking park.
Oh, the Boston. They had to do the Boston Red Sox.
I loved it.
Teddy Williams, a reason they hate him as a Yankee fan. Anyway.
But each of the scenes plays like a little story. And you're right, they're long. And the boring scenes do
title cards. Who the fuck does that? That's stupid. I get
he does it. Doesn't he do that all the time?
In every single film. Where have you been?
That's like his thing because he writes
Stupid.
He writes them like little novellas. Like each scene or each chapter is like a little novella where you could watch each of those scenes on its own and get a story from it. Now, unfortunately, when you tied it all together, I think the movie was a little bit sloppy. But
You're a little hard right now for it.
what's that?
Nothing.
Oh yeah. Oh, first of all, I'm always hard for Brad Pitt. I
So
aside from being a magnificently beautiful man, I think he's a fantastic actor, and he's done some incredible characters over the years. And I loved him in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which I'm sure you hated.
I hated it so hard.
Oh boy.
I would gladly see a movie just about Aldo Rain, like his younger years, how he got to there. I think he's an awesome character.
That's my whole point, is that they don't do anything interesting with any of the characters, and they have this fucking French film critic out of nowhere, literally out of nowhere. And
No, you're not, and you know what? And I don't disagree with you that the movie is jarring and not well put together. And he wrote it over what'd you say, Kev? 10 years or something like that.
He started in 98, but he got the other two.
If that's the best shit I could write over 10 years, I would just promptly die.
Yeah, you know what? The only thing I can compare it to, and this is going to be a really weird comparison, but Stephen King's Dark Tower series, he wrote over like 30 years or 25 years or something. And the first book was so good. And then each consecutive book is great in parts. But when you look at the whole series, it's a mess. And he just took way too much time, and it just got too big for him. And I feel like this movie was kind of the same thing. Like, he kept having ideas and just throwing it all in and being like, oh, this is good, and never looked at the whole thing and said, does this all work as a smooth, good, compelling movie? Because all the little scenes were awesome, but the whole movie itself was a kind of a mess. I still will say that I have a fondness for this movie, and I enjoyed rewatching it.
Give me a number.
6.5.
Wait, did I give a number?
You did not. Please give a number.
Okay, now for the editor, I will give a number 3.3.
Well, it's oddly specific.
Wow, that's very precise.
Oddly specific. Okay. These notes brought to you by the guttingthesacredcow.com merch shop. That's right. Come on here. Check out. Grab a shirt. Grab a long sleeve shirt. Grab a hoodie. Grab a cell phone holder. Don't laugh, Amanda. We've got everything under the goddamn sun.
You fucking got it. You've got it going on.
Listen, you better go on our website and buy a shirt and support this podcast, please.
No, my mother already has.
GuttingTheSacredCow.com for also everyday articles, list of 10, and movies we want to see, movies we've seen, and other fun stuff. Perfect toilet reading for when you're going to the bathroom at work. Notes. 9 minutes in this film and no N-words. Tarantino, you're slipping. Christoph Waltz chews up scenery and spits it out like a Category 5 hurricane, kids. Recognize greatness. Pitt has not one, but 2 monster roles written for him by Tarantino. Again, recognize greatness. The Bear Jew must get Kevin Israel harder than a topless Denise Richards gets me harder in Wild Things.
I just want to say there's only one Bear Jew, and we know where he is.
Mike Myers in this film, waiting for Fassbender. Can you imagine that scene on the outtakes? Like, now you're going to infiltrate the Nazis.
I thought he was great.
Yeah, it worked perfectly. The story about Shoshana drags out for me, unless it's a story about Shoshana Longstein, the 17-year-old with double D's that dated Jerry Seinfeld back in the 90s. That's a Shoshana story I want to hear.
Now I'm not going to show this to my parents.
Yes, you are. The scene in the bar should be an exercise in all film classes on how to build tension. Yep, that scene is fucking amazing. Don't hold your breath.
I just covered my mouth with both hands.
That's fine. If you do a yoga pose, use your feet in there too. In 1940s, women put lipstick on a napkin. In 2020, women send nude selfies. I'll take the 2020 version, please. This film is a collection of 4 to 6 amazing scenes with a bunch of boring filler in the middle. Brad Pitt was making a face like he had a stroke or he had to take a shit, but with no bathroom in sight at all times. I loved hearing Samuel L. Jackson and Harvey Keitel's voiceover. I know he's a loyalist to those people, and it's like a family event with the Tarantino film, and he always brings them home for cooking. Yeah.
Sorry.
This film has a glorious end, but it did not grab me like the others. This film is the 5th best Tarantino film there is. If it's on, and by the way, does this film pass the rewatch test for me? Only if it's on one of those aforementioned 4 to 6 scenes. I'll watch it then. Otherwise, this does not pass the remote test. Amanda, the remote test is if you're on cable and you're flipping around and you happen to stumble upon a film. At any point in time, do you drop the remote and go, I'm good for the next half hour, 45, hour and a half, 2 hours?
No, I would kill myself promptly at 10 minutes of
film,
Nazis talking about milk.
This film, I thought that scene was amazing. Shame on you. This film does not pass the remote test. I give it a 6 out of 10.
Oh, we're so close.
I know. I knew it'd be simpatico on this. It's good. It's better than fine.
It's good.
It's good. No, Jackie Brown stinks. I'll die on that hill right. You said Jackie Brown's better. No, it is not. Jackie Brown is boring, and it's by far his worst. By far.
Okay, I saw it at a bar where you watch a movie on.
Okay, that's not the idea to do how to watch a film properly.
I know. And one guy walked out, like literally yelling about his erection. So.
Was he watching Anchorman?
That was Jackie Brown?
Yeah. No, it was.
I never even saw Jackie Brown.
Don't
run.
You have
and he was like, you have to suck it, and the girl like followed, and it was like, oh, that's the bar I'm at. But the point being, it was fun. I don't know. This movie wasn't fun to me because
disagree.
9.
I knew it was coming.
2 people want to blow up Hitler. Congratulations, you have a movie.
Thing called character building. You're in film school. I took film. I was in film classes. Character building, tension building.
Building. There's no characters. Everybody is
every one of his films has tons of characters. That is what he's known for. That and dialogue. You are so wrong on that point. I like it.
Horrible in this movie.
In this movie, listen, it's not as good as Pulp Fiction or Reservoir Dogs. I'll be the first to say that. It's good. It's good, but it's not terrible.
There's nothing funny. Nothing made me laugh.
No, but it wasn't a laughable. This wasn't funny like Pulp Fiction with Royale with cheese, that shit. But the dialogue, the back and forth was, I thought it's good, not memorable, but the scenes that were the interactions were beyond fantastic. The 4 to 6 scenes in this film are great.
It's so crazy to like talk to like a sentient human being, because I don't do that much nowadays, but B, because you're so wrong.
I think it was funny. Tarantino called this like his Dirty Dozen, which I would have liked more of this movie to be more of a Dirty Dozen. I would have liked to see more of the Bastards exploits and what they were doing and their whole plot and how they got to where they were.
Agree.
Oh, sorry.
Agree. Completely agree with that. Not enough on them.
Does it bother you that like he said, and I swear he said this, I just can't find it online because it was 10 fucking years ago, that if his characters had existed in real life, Hitler would have been dead.
No, I don't care. I don't care.
It fucking pisses me off because
I don't care because when you take Hollywood people more than a grain of salt with what they say, people say that they say the dumbest shit. I don't take anything what they say. I'll separate.
I mean, you can say that about Captain America. Like if Captain America was real, the World War II would end. Like, all right, I guess. I don't know.
Did someone say that?
No, but I'm just saying.
The same
you
ballpark.
could say that about any fictional character.
Say that about your film is fucking cocky and stupid.
Well, Tarantino is nothing if not cocky.
Right.
And
So why do you
stupid.
take him seriously? I could separate the art from the asshole, no problem, easily. If that was the
Oh, I
case, how many
can't.
actors and actresses are say the dumbest shit in the world, but you still go
No,
plunk down $50 to see
that
their
they all
movie?
say dumb shit, but his
Well, there you
shit
go.
matters. Like when you're talking about like whether like the Jews rebelled against the Nazis enough.
No,
that
I
matters.
look, I get what you're. I get. Look, as a Jew, I get what you're saying, but this isn't one of those movies that I'd watch and be like, let's watch something to learn about the Holocaust,
Right.
or let's
No,
watch something to learn
So
about.
then, you should be equally as angry at what he did with Django Unchained, but you didn't say anything about that.
No, I am.
But you didn't say it, so I can't. I can't.
But also, also they didn't end
I'll say it
slavery
right
through
now.
their
I think it
actions.
was fucking stupid, and I think it was fucking like I would be offended if I.
He just made almost a 3-hour love affair for the revenge factor for two minorities who were trampled, but a different way.
Stupid.
Again, I think you're taking this. You're just trying
You
to.
got to see a very ugly Adolf Hitler, and he
Right.
was a very strange-looking Adolf Hitler.
Critics 5-star reviews. Inglorious Basterds is glorious. The film is so enjoyable, so entertaining, so smartly written, so well crafted, so beautifully lensed, and so well acted. I didn't want it to end.
I literally can't like look out of my eyes that are covered by my hands.
All right. It's clever, riotously amusing in parts, and does have some salient points to make about the relativity of the acceptance of violence. That person just said nothing in my book. Okay.
Literally kill them.
It's funny.
They wanted to show that they know the word salience.
Yes. It's funny. It's violent. It's funny and violent. The acting is unbelievable. Pitt is charming as the icy killer, and it's clear Tarantino has found his new muse in Laurent. That post did not age well, did it? Because I haven't seen her in shit since.
I haven't seen him in ever.
The performance of Christoph Waltz, playing the Nazi Gestapo figure Colonel Hans Landa, is the highlight of the film. His ability to convey courtliness and sympathy and then go to commit the cruelest of horrors is simply superb. In his gloriously imperfect Inglorious Basterds, Quentin Tarantino distills every war movie he's ever seen into one potent, funny, morally indefensible, 9/10 brilliant, impossible mission, in quotes, flick.
I mean, like, kill me. Just kill me.
After those reviews, we agree on that.
Not over Zoom and kill me.
Critics 1-star reviews. A failure so complete it is infuriating as opposed to merely disappointing. Despite the injection of content from a variety of directions, Bastard lacks the crackly excitement of Tarantino's other efforts, mainly because he can't seem to tie the whole package together. Completely agree with that summation.
Yep.
Why is Bastard such a colossal disappointment? It's mostly because Tarantino indulges all his worst impulses as a filmmaker and ignores what he does best. What did he ignore in this film, Kevin Israel?
What did he ignore?
Yeah.
His storytelling?
Yep. Okay. Tarantino's scenes go on and on because he's in love with the sound of his character talking. True. This gets especially maddening in Inglorious Basterds because much of the dialogue is in German, so the words are 3 times as long. Here's someone saying, I don't like subtitles or reading. Clocking in at 2 hours and 32 minutes, it is unforgivably leisurely, almost glacial. I like that word, glacial.
Glacial's a great word.
Isn't it? Right?
Kudos, yeah.
I'm going to incorporate that.
That's nice.
A film that loses its way in the thickets of alternative history and manages to be violent without the start to finish energy, that violence on screen usually guarantees. I'll buy that for $1. Amazon 5-star reviews. Hans Landa, one of the best original villains ever managed. He literally steals every scene he is in. Well-deserved Oscars for Mr. Waltz, but somebody tell me, why wasn't it for Best Leading Actor? Who was he supporting? Brad Pitt? No. Brad Pitt's hillbilly character was pretty entertaining too, as were pretty much every one of these characters. Next one. My copy was cheap and came in a very tough cardboard case. This film is definitely worth picking up. These are our Amazon. Listen, it's going to get better. It's going to get better.
Oh my God. That was just a classic.
Isn't it? Vengeance, bloodthirsty scenes, and the willingness of soldiers just doing their jobs in a very artistic way. Hope you got the stomach of a bald eagle for this one. I didn't know bald eagles had iron-lined stomachs. Did
They
you?
are scavengers.
They are. Suspenseful.
Right?
Suspenseful, violent, and funny. An ingenious plot. Outstanding dialogue. This is where Tarantino shines. And Brad Pitt's hammering aside, very good performances. I've probably
Brad Pitt's what aside?
performance. Good. I think he was better than Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But I thought both those were.
I thought both were terrible. But that's
Shame on you. Shame.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's a, don't apologize for opinion.
I respect your commitment to your stance.
Yes, I do too.
No, like
Even though it's wrong, it's still noted.
No, I hate
I've watched this movie probably 7 times in the past 3 years. Slow down, Junior. That's a lot. I'm not one to rewatch movies, though. I love this movie. In caps. The amazing screenplay is enough to have you loving this movie. Okay, not enough. The acting is fabulous, and I'm not a big Brad Pitt fan, but love him in this movie. Okay, not enough still. The soundtrack is amazing. Okay, not enough still. The ending is awesome. You really have to watch. You really have to watch this movie if you like good movies. That is, this soundtrack was so unremarkable. The fact that they pulled out that little nugget.
So weird.
Especially considering how good soundtracks of his other movies are.
That is going to make exactly my point. And he is a top 3 master in picking amazing, obscure songs.
Where's the other top 2?
Give me a minute and I'll think about it. That's good. He's up there, without a doubt. Amazon 1-star reviews. I love Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction, but Quentin Tarantino has been slipping ever since. I really thought Django Unchained was his lowest point. Wrong. But this Smooth Fest was almost unwatchable. I regret wasting 2.5 hours, but I could not write a review until seeing it to the end. Just awful. Well, I'm glad this person decided to wait to the very end.
Honestly, like literally that could have been me.
Way too much graphic violence and a weak storyline, in my opinion. I recommend the documentary series Auschwitz, Inside the Nazi State instead. I can't think of enough adjectives to describe how utterly disappointed I was with this film. I am the biggest Tarantino fan out there, and this film was complete garbage compared to his earlier work. I wouldn't have known it for a Tarantino film unless told otherwise beforehand. They say a writer should, quote, write what they know. And Tarantino obviously doesn't know anything about Nazis or World War II or France. He needed to stick to Compton. That he knows. The sets in this movie looked like the backlot of Paramount circa 1950. The interiors looked like they cast off set pieces from an off Broadway production of Disney's Snow White or a high school production of The Producers. And the worst, a jarring and completely irrelevant cameo by Mike Myers, doing a Mike Myers cross between Austin Powers and Dr. Evil. Eli Roth chewed the scenery like Pitt. Wait a minute. Chewed the scenery like it was canned ham, and looked like he got lost on the way to an episode of The Jersey Shore. Brad Pitt was Brad Pitt throughout the entire movie. A funny haircut and jutting jaw does not qualify as acting. I can see why Christoph Waltz won such acclaim for his portrayal of the SS officer. He was the only shining spot in a turd stew. Tarantino once seemed to care about getting the details right. Now he just seemed like getting this bit on film. And forget about authenticity. Like, he thinks we won't care because he's Tarantino and he can do no wrong. Well, I'm here to tell you, the emperor has no clothes. People, and I'm not afraid to say it. These are not historically accurate pieces, dum-dums. That's the point.
Wait, that was so funny.
Wasn't it, though?
That was so funny because I kept on the ride. Like,
Aren't you glad you did?
Every so often, I was like, oh, that's right. And then every so often, I was like, that's dumb. And I really enjoyed it.
Recommending the documentary Auschwitz instead of seeing this movie is like recommending somebody go to a chicken slaughtering farm when they say they want a chicken sandwich.
Right. Yeah. I want to see how the fudge is packed.
But also eating meat is unethical. I'm kidding.
I'm gonna say,
I'm half kidding.
This whole episode almost just got trashed.
yeah.
Oh my god, you guys totally trashed it. It's
Right.
totally fine.
Next one, don't waste your money. Foul movie that they must have produced on a day the actors didn't have anything to do. Brad Pitt is terrible. Next one, well, it finally happened. This one's got Kevin Israel, Table for One. Well, it finally happened. Tarantino made a film that I hate, not just my girlfriend. And this was a 2.5-hour colossal waste of time. Happily, it only cost me $1.99. I want my 2.5 hours back. The Kevin Israel special.
Okay, how the fuck did they get that movie for $2? Because I spent $8. And
You spent $8?
I'm mad about it. $3.99 twice because I couldn't finish it in one sitting. Anyway, keep going.
This movie was a horrible disappointment. If you're a speed reader, you may enjoy it because it's all subtitled in English and spoken in French and German. The plot is impossible to follow because you spend all your time trying to read what they say. End of story.
They did not do well in reading in grade school.
Signed, Lakewood Burger King night manager. Next one. Next one. Movie was crap. If I wanted to read a book, I would have gone to the library. Ha, that means you're cheap. Who goes to the library and gets books anymore? Go on Amazon and buy like an adult.
People are really upset. I hope none of these people know there are foreign films out there that are just completely subtitled.
No,
that would blow their fucking minds.
You know what I want to do? I want to run out of the theater and show them Run Lola Run, which is it's just great film. It's all in German, and watch your head. It's only an hour and 20 minutes, but it's great. Watch your head just blow off. Or Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, the Swedish versions, and torture them.
Which were much better than the
Which were much better. What a disappointment. The scene in the bar goes on and on and on and on. That ain't no Kill Bill. Unfortunately, many who watch it will be convinced that Hitler died at a movie theater in Paris. To see a very well pithy movie, check out the new VW ad with Stevie Wonder. Now that's creative filmmaking.
Whoa, is that sponsored?
No, it may be. It might be someone's like,
it's definitely sponsored.
Exactly. A VW commercial in with a review on Inglorious Basterds.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sponsored in the user submitted Amazon reviews. That is a poor way to find product placement, Amanda. But,
no, I agree. It's a terrible waste of money, but it was like $6 for them.
Kevin Israel, did Amanda Scherker gut the sacred cow?
I got to tell you. She did better than I thought she was going to do. Amanda, you did.
What the fuck does that mean?
You did better than I thought. Because like I said, I went into this rewatch adoring this movie, and from what I saw and from some of your points, you did a very solid job. But I think this movie still stands.
Oh my god, I failed.
Don't take solace in this, Amanda. Only 1/3 of people are able to gut that sacred cow. Because
is it 1/3?
If I have to go back and do that, I have to go back and do the math. I would say
you just said that to make me feel good.
No, 100%. Go back. Listen, Amanda. By the way, subscribe on whatever podcast platform and listen to all of our episodes, and you can keep tally of our success, of the guest success rate of gutting the sacred cow.
We've had people come on who their argument is basically, I didn't like the movie.
Or the book was better, and that was it.
Oh,
you put way more thought into some people than some people have. Other people come very prepared. No, it's insulting.
And I didn't.
But you got it off your chest, and the world will now know how you feel about Inglorious Basterds.
I will co-sign on that 9 gutting. Yes, Amanda, you did a good job. Was it enough? No. The cow still squirts milk in your face and says 9. And Christoph Waltz throws milk in your face as well.
No, he would drink it.
He would.
I can't believe a Jew disagreed with me on this movie.
I'm married to a Jew, and I disagree with her constantly.
Hey-o.
Yo.
That just blew her mind into the stratosphere. Amanda, where can we find you? Again, plug your websites and
fuck. Fuck. You can find me on Hinge. I'm trying to find a husband. I'm not. I'm low-key not kidding. Also, you can find me on Twitter, where I'm literally just my name, Amanda Scherker.
Cool. And
It's
the website you again is what is Wisecracks?
Oh, I write videos for Wisecrack on
Cool.
YouTube.
Wisecrack.
And no, they're really good. They're really funny.
Awesome.
They're fun.
You should have Kevin Israel and I on your on your videos because we're funny too.
I believe it. I've seen it. I felt it.
That's not sounding too convincing on your end.
Yeah, I'll call you sometime.
Yeah. Get off.
KevinIsrael.com, KevinIsrael_NJ on Twitter. Stand-up comedy was trickling back, and now the governor of New Jersey is enforcing some more stringent restrictions. So I don't know what's going to happen with comedy, but hopefully we can keep performing live, and you can come see us. And like Goatee said in the beginning, our live show, January 23rd, 7 o'clock, the AMC in Clifton is going to be fucking amazing. And you should be there. Limited seating.
Buying my ticket right now.
You should be.
Don't toy with our emotions, Amanda. We expect you to come with a posse.
I know. I'm there. I'm
Be like Amanda, and this bitch is gonna send out. So
no, this bitch is here. In Clifton right now.
Day and a half already announced. We've sold 25% of our tickets already. Not even words getting out. I know we're doing it. KevinGoatee.com, but more importantly, guttingthesacredcow.com. You can find, again, articles every single day, links to to buy your tickets for the show. Only $25. You get to watch Karate Kid and hang out with us. And we're doing giveaways. For Christ's sakes, that's the gift that keeps on giving. Unlike the Jelly of the Month Club that Eddie gave Clark Griswold in Christmas Vacation, right? CuttingTheSacredCow.com, GTSC podcast, and on YouTube. Please subscribe to YouTube for our YouTube channel. You get to see us live, not live. Excuse me. Yes,
you're seeing me.
You're going to see that smiling face of yours on YouTube as well. Gutting the Sacred Cow, GTSC podcast on YouTube. Don't forget that, and everywhere else. And on the podcast platform for choice, how about a nice 5-star rating and a 2-sentence review? That's all we're asking. That's it. GuttingTheSacredCow.com. Kevin Goatee, Kevin Israel, Amanda Scherker. Thanks again. This has been a delightful chat. And we look forward to seeing you in the future in LA when we come by and crash at your house. Tell your roommates to get the fuck out of Dodge. We're hanging out. Yeah. Take care, gang. See you next time. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.